Well, I'm having a bit of tough day. I can't call it a tough day. It's morning. I've only just really woken up. I slept all night, which is brilliant because I've not been doing that for a while. And I was struck with overwhelm and having my clothes in my van in BV and being here in the Tiger van and not being able to get clean clothes because Si had tidied up the van and put things away last night as I made tea, which meant that I couldn't get into my bed where I store things over there. And it hit me. I thought, why couldn't he just learn to tidy up? Why couldn't he learn to work with me to allow me to have my tidy spaces? Why does everything have to be so much of a mess? I thought about it. I thought, come on now. This is him, this is Si. Yeah, you didn't realise that at the start, but it's always been an issue. You've always wanted to tidy up, or you've always wanted to try and keep it tidy. And once we got space, a whole hectare of space, then he was free to leave everything everywhere, and it was just totally unmanageable for me because despite every attempt at trying to keep things together or naming places for things and creating tool boards and drawing around tool things and stuff, he just had to leave everything everywhere because that's who Si is. Si doesn't like tidying up. He likes it clean. He likes it Si form of tidy. And I like it M form of tidy, which isn't clinically clean, but it's well and truly organised, everything accessible, where you know where everything is. Now, Si'd argue he knows where everything is, but it takes 10 times longer to find anything or do anything because it's, where's this? Well, where's this? Where's this? And it's because there's no method, there's no organisation, there's no efficiency there. Things get done and take so much longer to do anything. But that's Si. I accept that. I do. But as much as I accept that, totally, that is Si, and I accept that we don't match, it's still hard to process. Where it should be easy to process that we don't go, I knew I should have pressed do not disturb while I try and do this, because you know what it's like. All of a sudden you become popular and people want to talk to you when you're trying to make a video and you've got ding ding dings going on, and the rest of the time no one talks to you. But yeah, it's been a thing. It's been a ridiculous battle between two personalities who like two different things, and it's Simon's space, Simon's land. Well, it's our space on Simon's land, Simon's property, Simon's everything, and even trying to get one space. There's one space that I had for me that I could keep tidy. It just wasn't happening. It wasn't working. And the more I looked at the mess, the more I didn't want to look at the mess, why should I have to run around looking for things when I can, I have a totally different way of organising and being. And it's so tiresome that every day you think, oh, I'll do this today, and then you think, well, I can't because that mess is in the way. And Syed said to me in the video I did about why we split up, he'd said, you made me feel like an environment destroyer. I thought, I'll think on that. Because he doesn't destroy the environment in the bigger picture. His clutter and his mess makes perfect homes for spiders and insects. And the way that he takes care of the land at Himsa, the way that he respects the trees, the way that he allows things to grow, he takes care of the environment. He takes care of Himsa in his way, and what he does, there is nothing wrong with what he does. It's all perfect. It's all perfect. And he's there making his contribution to the planet, which is the way I see it. I don't think it's the way Sai sees it. But he just wants to do what's right for the trees and the land and the animals, and he's fascinated by all the various wildlife, and he loves all that, and he loves the quiet, and he loves the space. So he's not an environment destroyer. He's a carer for the land here, a caretaker, and he is a good one. It's just that he's an untidy, in my opinion, mess maker with a different standard of tidy and clean and organised than what mine is, and that's fine. Because to a lot of people, I can be anal in my organisation and the way that I like things, the way that my tools in my toolbox are exactly as they were 7 years ago. And I can be in a different country and still say, oh, you need this tool is on this shelf in this position, and the keys for that is blah, blah, blah. And it's like, my way of doing things works really well for me and can be too much for some people. And it's too much for Sai. I'm a too much woman. I don't mind being a too much woman because that's who I am. And that's perfect too. So everything is perfectly, everything is perfectly imperfect in this world. And I love it all and respect it all. But I still experience those feelings of what if and why. And then I have to remind myself that that's what ifs and whys and things like that is still some form of trying to change things that can't be changed, because you can't change what happened when it's been. You can only change the way you look at things. And I can change the future by making a conscious decision to ensure that my needs are met and that I meet my needs. And that's why I choose to walk alone. That's why I choose to move forward. And I'm hoping to find a community where I can be my beautifully efficient, organised, imperfect self and be loved for it and be beneficial. and where I can interact with other human beings for the benefit of humanity without the conflict and without having to compromise my true self or higher self, and where I can work on myself daily and be allowed the time and space for that. So yeah, that's where I am this morning. I love you all lots, and I'm going to have a cup of tea because the world's better after a cup of tea, or my perceptions of the world seem better after a cup of tea. And then I'm off to have a look at getting some porridge and see what I can do on the van.